To answer a driving question and create high-quality work, students need to do much more than remember information. They need to use higher-order thinking skills and learn to work as a team. They must listen to others and make their own ideas clear when speaking, be able to read a variety of material, write or otherwise express themselves in various modes, and make effective presentations. These skills, competencies, and habits of mind are often known as 21st century skills because they are prerequisite for success in the 21st century workplace.
Next year and then back up to second grade. Of course, it's much more difficult with the younger ones because they don't know how to work in teams. And that's one thing that I know these teachers even said, our kids don't know how to work in teams. You just assume that they know how to do that, but they have to be taught how to collaborate with each other and how to disagree nicely. That was the biggest part.
Just basically what they did is they got together in their groups and thought about what they wanted to put, and like she said, they have a key and stuff. Then we let them go around the room. We put these up around the room and gave everyone 2 sticky notes, and they had to walk around and put, you know, one compliment basically, like, I like how you did this, or this is a great idea.
And gallery walk, that's what you call that, where Ms. Blake was talking about. Each student has 2 stickies. They give an I like, so they're giving some positive feedback to each team about what they liked about their design or their ideas. And then they gave an I wonder. And so you're not saying, I don't like that you used red flowers because purple are my favorite. You say, I wonder how it would look if we used purple flowers instead of red since we're Willis Wildcats. You know, whatever. So you're encouraging them to phrase it in the form of a question instead of, you know, giving criticism in a negative way. And so each student goes through and does that. And then you want them to really reflect on what did other people say about your ideas and your project? What did they like? So what should we keep? What should change? And then how are we going to incorporate that? Or are we still going to just go ahead and go forward with the ideas that we liked?
Well, an example, one of our groups, it was called, what was it, the Learning Farm or something? Yes. And so they thought, you know, a lot of the comment was, well, you're going to have, why is it called a farm? You're not going to have animals.
I wonder where are you going to get the animals?
Yeah,
because they have this idea to actually put a farm outside on the playground because they love animals. They have pigs. They have contests with pigs. They participate in the county fair. But these I wonders, it was promoting collaboration within the team and also within the students. I teach bilingual and I partner with Ms. Blake. She teaches regular education, and the students were really collaborating, and that helped also to build bridges, because at the beginning, one of the students in the monolingual class said, we paired them up to introduce themselves, and one of the students said, but they don't talk Ms. Yamaguchi. And I said, yes, they do talk. They just speak another language, but they do talk. So now in this PBL, both teams are collaborating. That's a wonderful thing. That's really building the teamwork. And you're going to find a lot of strong personalities. And that's a challenge, and that's a real situation. So just be prepared. And I tell them, that's in the workplace. This is a skill for the rest of your life. So within our teams, you know, you always have those strong kids that I want to do this and they want to do it, but there's no I on the word team, and that's really neat. It was a really interesting way of building bridges.
Did you find that you had to do anything extra different or whatever to help, like say somebody that had autism that wasn't able to communicate their thoughts and their...
That will happen in 4th grade.
Yeah.
We have a student in 4th grade that... But we
had our own.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple. We have one that is a very. He doesn't work well with groups or peers, and it depended on the day. If anything had happened at home, he has to be put in a study carrel to just work by himself. But if
he worked on that project,
he works on the project by himself.
Okay, got it.
And he preferred it that way.
At one point he was asking, I want to work with so-and-so. Well, then we had an explosion.
Right.
And so
you kind of have
to pull him back. You just have to pull him back.
Was my question.
Give them a spot. Give them a spot that's a safe zone, like you would always do. And he chose
you know, he came up to me this time and he goes, I think I want to work with somebody. And I was like, I think you're going to do a blueprint by yourself and we'll see. Because especially knowing the situation that his mother's out of town. I wasn't letting anything change. I don't want him out of my classroom. I want to keep him in the classroom, not in trouble. So
and we have the students. One of our students is very low academically, but he was very into this project. He blossomed.
Oh, yeah.
In this project, it was
Yes.
phenomenal. He was into it. He was always on time with the task. And the other student that sometimes is like that one that wants to be by himself, the community embraced him.
Yeah.
So they, like you mentioned, they cheered him up. So he completed the project. And some days, yes, he needed time for himself. But some days, it was really community building.
A lot of times they will excel more in this type of situation because they can play on their own strengths rather than paper pencil type things. So.
And they're also able to, when they're in that group, they see each other's strengths. And that's one of the things that we talk about is that, you know, not everybody has the best handwriting. And so you want to pick that person to kind of, you know, for this part. So they found each other's strengths and really, I mean, play to that. And
well, in my classroom, we do groups, you know, for everything that we do pretty much is in groups. So they're used to doing that. So my next question is, do you switch from one PBL to another, the groups, or do you keep the groups the same, or you kind of switch because they've had enough of each other and then move on to other?
Correct. And I mean, you can do it so many different ways. I mean, you're
right.
only limited by your own. Exactly. Right. Like for the venue, it was what were they interested in bringing to us? Did they want to bring a museum? Did they want to bring a pool? What did they want to bring? And so then that's how the groups were formed. For this one, we
strategically pulled popsicle sticks.
We said yes. We said we're just going to pull popsicle sticks, and you're in this group. And really, we were like, okay, they did not work well together last time. We have learned, you know, all that.
When their letter of what they learned was that you can fight and still be friends. You're like, okay, we're going to separate you three because it was very strong personalities and they needed to separate.
Good. It was really good.
It was. The children also learned how to encourage each other within the group to play a more vital role because they would talk each other up. We even had one call the other one, wanted to know what his phone number was because he was absent and he was supposed to do so-and-so today for the project. So, I mean, they encourage the children to rely more on each other rather than, you know, Miss Vayon, so-and-so's absent, who's going to do it? Figure it out.
It's got to get done.